Houghton is a city in the U.S. state of Michigan's Upper Peninsula and largest city in the Copper Country on the Keweenaw Peninsula. As of the 2010 census, the city population was 7,708. It is the county seat of Houghton County. It has been listed as one of the 100 best small towns in America. Houghton is sometimes confused with, or thought to be close to, Houghton Lake. The latter is actually located in the state's Lower Peninsula. Due to its location in the northwestern portion of the Upper Peninsula, Houghton is isolated from the state's most populous areas. It is farther to drive from Houghton to Detroit than it is from Detroit to Washington, D.C. It takes several fewer hours to travel to Milwaukee, Wisconsin or Minneapolis, Minnesota from Houghton than it does to travel to Detroit. Houghton, as its county, was named after Douglas Houghton, an American geologist and physician, primarily known for his exploration of the Keweenaw Peninsula of Michigan. The area lends itself to a wide variety of outdoor sports, both winter and summer. History. Native Americans mined copper in and around what would later be Houghton thousands of years before European settlement. French explorers had noted existence as early as the 17th century. 1772, Alexander Henry had prospected for copper on the Ontonagon River near Victoria. Quote, "When Horace Greeley said, 'Go west, young man,' he was referring to the copper rush in Michigan's western Upper Peninsula. Many Cornish and Finnish immigrants arrived in the Houghton area to work in the copper mines. Both groups have had a great influence on the culture and cuisine of the local area. The Finns and others called much of the area Copper Island. Smaller numbers of French-Canadian immigrants moved to Houghton, while more of them settled elsewhere in Houghton County. The last nearby mines closed in the late 1960s, but a school founded in 1885 by the Michigan State Legislature to teach metallurgy and mining engineering, the Michigan College of Mines, continues today under the name of Michigan Technological University and is the primary employer in the city. The first known European settler of Houghton was named Ransom Sheldon, who set up a store named Ransom's near Portage Lake, though it is unclear whether this was in the same building as the 1852 Sheldon and Schaefer Drugs, sometimes described as the first commercial building constructed in Houghton, which Sheldon owned with his son Ransom B. The main street of Houghton, variously called Sheldon Avenue, Sheldon Street, and Sheldon Avenue, is named for him. In the 1970s, the construction of a parking deck and the connection of downtown stores to create Sheldon Center significantly changed the downtown. William W. Henderson was appointed the first postmaster of Houghton in 1852. Houghton gained in importance as a port with the opening of the Keweenaw Waterway in 1873, the waterway being the cumulative dredging and extension of the Portage Lake, Portage Shipping Canal and Lily Pond so as to isolate the northern part of the Keweenaw Peninsula into Copper Island. In 1854, Ernest F. Fletchke platted Houghton, which was incorporated as a village by Sheldon C.C. Douglas and Captain Richard Edwards 3 years later. In Houghton's first days it was said that only thieves, crooks, murderers and Indians lived there. The post-war boom and increasing demand for copper wiring fueled the development of Houghton in the 1860s and 1870s. By 1880 Houghton had become a burgeoning city, and in 1883, the railroad was extended from Marquette. 1909 saw the founding of what would later become Portage Lake District Library. During the bitter Copper Country strike of 1913–1914, the Michigan National Guard was called in after the sheriff petitioned the governor. Houghton was the birthplace of professional ice hockey in the United States when the Portage Lakers were formed in 1903. Houghton is the home of the Portage Lake Pioneers senior hockey team. The team's home ice is D Stadium, named after James R. D. D Stadium was originally called the Amphidrome, before it was severely damaged in a 1927 fire. In the winter of 2001, Houghton was the site of one of the first Lumatalos to be constructed in the United States. Philatelic history. On October 28, 2002, the first day of issue ceremony was held in Houghton for the snowman stamps issued by the United States Postal Service. One of the 2006 United States Postal Service snowflake stamps was unveiled in Houghton, a pictorial postmark commemorating Winter Carnival 2007. Ancient worlds come to play in snowy drifts of modern day, was applied at the Winter Carnival temporary station in Michigan Technological University's Memorial Union Building, February 10, 2007. Geography. The city is located on the south shore of Portage Lake, primarily on rolling wooded hills less than a mile across Portage Lake. From Hancock, the city is bounded on the east by Portage Township and Pilgrim, on the west by Dakota Heights, and on the south by Hurontown and Isle Royal location, unincorporated communities that are part of Portage Township, and also on the west by Adams Township. Houghton is named after Douglas Houghton, discoverer of copper nearby. Houghton is also the home of Michigan Technological University. The city is served by Houghton County Memorial Airport. According to the United States Census Bureau, the city has a total area of 4.69 square miles, of which 4.45 square miles is land and 0.24 square miles is water. In the West Houghton neighborhood is West Houghton Park, containing an outdoor ice rink and lawn tennis courts. Along Portage Lake is the Raymond Kestner waterfront recreation area, the principal feature of which is a large chutes and ladders playground. It also includes Houghton Beach. Along the waterfront, in the area that used to be occupied by the railroad tracks, runs the flat, paved waterfront trail for bikers and pedestrians. At one end of this is the Houghton RV Park. At the other end, the Nara Nature Park, and midway along this corridor is Matilla Square. Prince's Point is also along this trail. Veterans Park is just across the Portage Lake Lift Bridge from Hancock, and contains the memorial to the Houghton Company, which fought in the Civil War. Houghton is the headquarters for Isle Royal National Park. The Portage Lift Bridge connects Hancock and Houghton, Michigan, by crossing over Portage Lake, which is part of the river and canal system that crosses the entire peninsula. The Portage Lift Bridge is the world's heaviest and widest double-decked vertical lift bridge. Its center span lifts to provide 100 feet of clearance for ships. Since rail traffic was discontinued in the Keweenaw, the lower deck is used to accommodate snowmobile traffic in the winter. This is the only land-based link between the north and south section of the Keweenaw Peninsula, and is crucial. Climate. Houghton has a humid continental climate, but the long and snowy winters make the city feel as though it is in a climate much further north. It holds the distinction of having the third most maxima below 32 degrees Fahrenheit (0 degrees Celsius) of any incorporated city in the contiguous U.S., with the top temperature failing to reach freezing on 100.9 days per year. It is sometimes said that Houghton has two seasons, winters here and winters coming. While Houghton's winters may be the subject of humor, residents take the subject of snow and winter very seriously. Houghton is one of the premier winter cities found anywhere. A winter city is a community that accommodates winter, celebrates it, and whose residents generally enjoy the season by participating in a variety of outdoor activities. Among those activities are cross-country skiing, snowshoeing, ice fishing, snowmobiling, ice skating, and outdoor ice hockey, among other activities. Houghton celebrates winter through the Winter Carnival organized by Michigan Tech every year in February. Houghton's summer climate tends to be especially pleasant, as hot temperatures are often moderated by the cool waters of the nearby Lake Superior. Only once, in July 1988, have temperatures hotter than 100 degrees Fahrenheit or 37.8 degrees Celsius been reported. Temperatures below 0 degrees Fahrenheit minus 17.8 degrees Celsius are also relatively infrequent due to the moderating effect of the lake, being reached only on 18.3 nights per year as against over 50 at International Falls. The coldest temperature on record has been minus 26 degrees Fahrenheit on the 21st of January 1984, less extreme than most places to the west, and the heaviest monthly snow, 119 inches in December 1972. The highest mean snow cover has been 43 inches on several occasions, most recently in February 1996. People and culture. Every summer, the city of Houghton hosts a festival known as Bridgefest, to commemorate the building of the Portage Lake Lift Bridge. This is often held in conjunction with Seafood Fest. Every fall, the Parade of Nations takes place in downtown Houghton to commemorate the ethnic diversity of Michigan Technological University. Strawberry Fest is held every summer, which not only celebrates the fruit, but also includes an art market with paintings, photos, sculptures, and crafts. The city houses two museums. The Carnegie Museum, located in the former Portage Lake District Library building, contains photographs from the Raffaelli Historical Photo Collection, other artifacts on the history of the local area, a mural depicting the history of Houghton, Ontonagon, Baraga and Keweenaw counties, and exhibits of artwork. The A. Seaman Mineral Museum, State Mineral Museum of Michigan, is located on the campus of Michigan Technological University. Houghton is often the host of winter sporting events, due to its long winters and many ski hills. The 2006 cross-country skiing Junior Olympics took place in Houghton. The U.S. National Championships for Nordic skiing took place in Houghton in January 2007. In addition, the International Frisbee Tournament takes place every year in Houghton, and the rollout of the distance events of the Keweenaw Chain Drive Bike Races of Houghton and Hancock takes place in downtown Houghton. Other winter events focus around Michigan Technological University. Michigan Tech hosts a yearly winter carnival in which thousands of visitors come to see snow sculptures built by members of fraternities, sororities, other student organizations, as well as a few community groups, and participate in the week-long celebration. Students at the university also receive several days of vacation for Carnival. As part of Winter Carnival 2006, the city of Houghton and the university broke 3 world records: the largest snowball, the largest snowball fight, and the largest number of people making snow angels in one place. They currently still hold 2 of these records: largest snowball and largest snowball fight. The Daily Mining Gazette is a daily newspaper published in Houghton. The town is sometimes referred to by locals as Houghton or Ho-Town. Quote, Houghton is even stenciled on city property. Since Houghton and Hancock are very near each other, the combined area is often referred to as Houghton-Hancock, though the towns are often fierce rivals, something particularly manifested by the sports rivalry between Houghton High School and Hancock Central. Tourism is a major industry in Houghton. Summer tourism is very popular, especially among those wishing to tour old mines, visit various historical sites, and camp. Winter tourism is also very active from November through April, for snowmobiling, skiing and other winter sports. Demographics. 2010 census. As of the census of 2010, there were 7,708 people, 2,380 households, and 907 families residing in the city. The population density was 1,732.1 inhabitants per square mile. There were 2,516 housing units at an average density of 565.4 per square mile. The racial makeup of the city was 85.2% white, 1.0% African American, 0.4% Native American, 11.2% Asian, 0.1% Pacific Islander, 0.4% from other races, and 1.8% from two or more races. Hispanic or Latino of any race were 1.8% of the population. There were 2,380 households, of which 18.4% had children under the age of 18 living with them. 28.6% were married couples living together. 6.3% had a female householder with no husband present. 3.2% had a male householder with no wife present, and 61.9% were non-families. 32.1% of all households were made up of individuals, and 11.9% had someone living alone who was 65 years of age or older. The average household size was 2.37, and the average family size was 2.82. The median age in the city was 22.1 years. 10.1% of residents were under the age of 18, 56.2% were between the ages of 18 and 24, 16.1% were from 25 to 44, 10.5% were from 45 to 64, and 7% were 65 years of age or older. The gender makeup of the city was 64.3% male and 35.7% female. 2000 census. As of the census of 2000, there were 7,010 people, 2,114 households, and 877 families residing in the city. The population density was 1,625.5 per square mile. There were 2,222 housing units at an average density of 515.2 per square mile. The racial makeup of the city was 89.24% white, 1.87% black or African American, 0.40% Native American, 6.79% Asian, 0.01% Pacific Islander, 0.24% from other races, and 1.44% from two or more races. Hispanic or Latino of any race were 0.77% of the population. 16.4% were of German, 12.7% Finnish, 8.2% Irish, 8.0% English, 6.0% Polish, and 5.1% Italian ancestry according to Census 2000. 94.8% spoke English, 1.8% Spanish, and 1.2% Chinese as the first language. There were 2,114 households, out of which 21.1% had children under the age of 18 living with them. 31.6% were married couples living together. 7.9% had a female householder with no husband present, and 58.5% were non-families. 35.2% of all households were one-person households, and 12.2% had someone living alone who was 65 years of age or older. The average household size was 2.34 and the average family size was 2.94. In the city, the population was spread out with 12.0% under the age of 18, 55.2% from 18 to 24, 15.3% from 25 to 44, 10.3% from 45 to 64, and 7.1% who were 65 years of age or older. The median age was 22 years. For every 100 females there were 160.7 males. For every 100 females age 18 and over, there were 173.2 males. The median income for a household in the city was $21,186, and the median income for a family was $41,779. Males had a median income of $36,161 versus $28,639 for females. The per capita income for the city was $11,750. About 20.3% of families and 36.9% of the population were below the poverty line, including 21.9% of those under age 18 and 18.2% of those age 65 or over. Education. The local school district is Houghton Portage Township Schools. Students K-12 are served by Houghton Elementary, Middle, and High Schools. Houghton is also the home of Michigan Technological University. Transportation. Highways US 41 courses north to Hancock and Copper Harbor. To the south and east US 41 routes to Lance and Marquette. M26 connects Houghton southwest to US 45. M203 provides a loop route from US 41 in neighboring Hancock to McLean State Park, and then back to US 41. Bus Indian Trails bus lines operates daily intercity bus service between Hancock, Michigan and Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Houghton Motor Transit operates both a demand bus and a route bus throughout Houghton and in nearby parts of Portage Township. There are also night trips to Mont Ripley in Ripley. Ferry Houghton as the port of departure for Isle Royale National Park. Cruise ships on the Great Lakes formerly used to frequently stop in Houghton, but this is now an exceedingly rare occurrence. Airport Houghton is served by the Houghton County Memorial Airport, which has limited commercial service. Houghton was formerly served by airship. A seaplane departs from Houghton to Isle Royale National Park. Snowmobiling. Snowmobiling is a major winter activity in the area, both locally and as a tourist industry. The Bill Nichols Snowmobile Trail has a terminus in Houghton. Local radio. WMPL-AM 920. WCCY 1400. WKMJ-FM 93.5, WOLV 97.7, WUPY-FM 101.1, WHKB-FM 102.3, WMTU-FM 91.9. Neighborhoods. Houghton is generally said to be divided into East Houghton, the central Houghton area, and West Houghton. East Houghton runs from Franklin Square to the eastern city limits. A principal street is College Avenue, characterized by colonial revival homes which formerly ran from urbanized Houghton farms, villas and mining operations, and the Michigan School of Mines, now Michigan Technological University. Today the main campus of MTU has taken over much of the College Avenue area and some of East Houghton. Generally, though it remains a primarily residential neighborhood. It is home to East Houghton Park. The park was established in 1974 and contains tennis courts and playground equipment. The Chassel Sands may be technically said to be part of this neighborhood, but are usually considered as apart from it, as is Minoru Yamasaki-designed Danielle Heights, married student housing at Tech. Central Houghton is a relatively urbanized area of the town, generally considered as being roughly between Franklin Square and the Portage Lake Lift Bridge. The heart of Houghton's commercial district is characterized by sandstone buildings with the frequent classical detail it is centered on. Sheldon Avenue, the downtown lying in central Houghton between Montezuma Avenue and Lake Street, Brew Alley, Lakeshore Drive, which are generally considered one continuous street. South of this area are a series of streets with small wooden houses, primarily from mining days, rising over the arc of the hills that the city is built upon. Northward is the waterfront, which has several dockyards and older buildings alongside it, while Corktown is the area around St. Ignatius Catholic Church. This neighborhood is rarely spoken of today. West Houghton is the site of more recent construction compared to the other two neighborhoods. Therefore, the area has a more modern, suburban feel to it than the other areas. This includes larger middle-class houses built with large wooded lots between them. Most prominent in this area, however, are the retail stores which are becoming the new commercial heart of the city. These include Walmart, Shopko, and several recent strip malls, with numerous small stores housed under a single roof. Several prominent beach areas are located on this side of the city. It is often referred to by locals as Shopko Heights, the neighborhood behind Shopko, or Shopkoville. Micropolitan area. The Houghton, Michigan micropolitan area is a statistical aggregation of the United States Census Bureau. In popular culture, Houghton figures in the novels A Superior Death and Winter Study by Nevada Barr and the Robin Hamilton mystery series by Nancy Barr. Much of Anna Monson's Other Electricities takes place in Houghton. Comedian John Oliver also talks about Houghton in a February 2010 comedy show performed at Michigan Tech.